So, I welcome you all to the session 4 of C5 Summer School's Innovate Design Inspire, conducted by Product Design Club and ESL IIT Madras. So, today we are going to discuss and learn about introduction to prototyping and user testing. Here we are going to explore various prototyping methods and the importance of testing in product design process and what different prototyping methods involved, etc. So let's start our session by the question, what is prototype? So you can all answer in the Slido, as we already covered this question in the previous sessions. What is a prototype? Guys, please answer. Is my screen visible? A basic tangible product. Initial product that we create. Uh, I need more answers. Okay. A prototype is a first draft or early model of something that is used to test ideas and get feedback before the final product is created. So, as you all know, what is a prototype? I'm not going to discuss more about prototype again. We'll just move on to different types of prototypes. So, in different types of prototypes, we have low fidelity prototype, high fidelity prototype, digital prototype, and physical prototype. So let's discuss more about all these prototypes in coming slides. First, we'll start our discussion with low fidelity prototype. Okay. Uh, what does fidelity means? Fidelity means a representation which is close to the final model. So that's the meaning of fidelity. And here we are in all these prototypes, we are just going to discuss four major points. What is that prototype about? Where do we use that prototype? Why do we use that prototype? And how do we use that prototype? So starting with the low fidelity, we'll just start. What is low fidelity prototype? So low fidelity prototypes are quick rough models used to test core functionalities and user flows of an idea before investing in more detail. So, in simple words, low fidelity prototypes are prototypes that are very quick and rough models. Like, if you want to just create a, uh, suppose if you want to just create a pencil or something, low fidelity prototype includes just a rough sketch of a pencil or any other object as well. And so, this is also called as rapid prototyping as this is quick and inexpensive to create. Basically, this prototype can be made with paper, whiteboards, or simple digital tools. Now, we will move to where do we use this low fidelity prototype? Can someone guess where do we use this low fidelity prototype? Okay. This low fidelity prototype is used in early stages of design to generate and explore ideas. It is also employed during initial user testings and feedback gatherings on basic concepts and functionalities. We can also use this low fidelity prototype in presenting to clients, like we can use this prototype to communicate and iterate on ideas with stakeholders before committing in more details with them. And we can also use this for internal team reviews. So these are the main aspects where we use low fidelity prototypes. And next, we can move on to why we use low fidelity prototypes. So, as this is rapid, like this is quick, it can save our time. So, for time saving, we can use our low fidelity prototype as it is inexpensive. It is also cost effective. They require minimal resources and materials, and it is also flexible, easy to change and adapt. And it the main feature, like why the main thing we use for low fidelity prototype is it focus on the key concept. It encourages focus on overall functionality and user experience rather than aesthetic details, and it also encourages creativity among the people, and it also include user engagement, like users can feel more comfortable providing feedback on simple and non-polished prototypes, leading to be more honest and constructive input. So these are the main reasons why we use low fidelity prototypes. And how we use low fidelity prototypes, like uh, what should be done to use fidelity prototypes. So, first, we need to identify the goals and scope of the product. We should determine what aspects of the product you want to test or explore with your prototype. And then we'll select tools and materials so that we can create a prototype by sketching or outlining the user flows, etc. And then we can conduct user testings, and then we can iterate, and then we can refine the ideas. So this is how we use low fidelity prototypes. And okay, coming to examples of low fidelity prototypes, these are very simple, like paper, pencil comes under low fidelity prototypes. So we can uh, quickly sketch the things we want. And whiteboards also comes under low fidelity prototypes, sticky notes, and some digital tools, like very basic digital tools are used in this low fidelity prototypes. Mm, so you may be wondering, what is the benefit of low fidelity prototype? Why is it important? So one thing is early validation. It helps us to identify the issue and validate concept in early design process. And another thing is stakeholder alignment. It ensures all stakeholders to be on the same page regarding the direction of the project. And it doesn't know much, like it doesn't allow the stakeholder to know much about our product. It only allows the stakeholder to know the key concept of the product. So if that stakeholder rejects the product, then it's not a big issue. Like this, it's not something confidential, and it is also user-centric designs, which facilitate user-centered design by incorporating user feedbacks. So this is something about low fidelity prototype, and then we can move on to another prototype, high fidelity prototype. So what is high fidelity prototype? High fidelity prototypes are detailed interactive models that look close to the final product. So, this is a prototype where it looks very close to the final product. Uh, and these are used when the overall concept and structure have been validated and refined. And it is also used for user testing, and same as stakeholder presentation, and in developing of product with a clear and detailed guide for the product. So why do we use this low high fidelity prototypes? So to build realistic user experience among the users, or buyers or someone, we use this high fidelity prototype. It provides more accurate representation of final product, allowing for throughout testing of user experience. And it also provides a detailed feedback. It enables users and stakeholders to provide specific feedback on design details and interactions. It also helps in validation of design, um, before, like validation of design before uh, locking the design. And in effect, it also helps to clearly communicate design intent to stakeholders and development teams, reducing misunderstandings. And it also helps in marketing. So we can showcase the product in marketing materials and sales if we in this high fidelity prototype. And how do we use this high fidelity prototype? Same, like any prototype, first we define the objective. Like, what is the specific goal of the prototype? What is the scope of the prototype? And what features and interactions needed to be tested? And then we choose tools. Here we choose tools like soft tools of software like Adobe XD, Figma, Fusion 360, etc. We'll look into more detail in coming slides about the software tools. And then we design a prototype by uh, the following, by the above tools. And then we can conduct user testing, and then we can gather feedback, and then we can iterate the design and refine the design. So some examples of high fidelity prototypes are Adobe XD, Sketch, Figma, Fusion 360, InVision, etc. So, like in this image, it's about the uh, it's a website of a company which is having some things. So next we'll discuss what are the benefits of high fidelity prototypes. So obviously, these are accurate representations. It enhances user testing, and it importantly uh, gives stakeholders buy-in, which facilitates stakeholders approval by presenting a polished and interactive model of product. And it also helps in developer guidance, serves as detailed reference for developers and ensuring the final build matches and design specifications. So these are uh, things about high fidelity prototyping. Next, we'll move on to a quick question. What is the difference between low fidelity and fidelity prototypes? So, come on, answer this question. Okay. Someone asked, today we are going to discuss about prototyping and testing. Someone asked, can you repeat how can we use low fidelity prototyping? Uh, like in any prototype, first we have to define the objective, the goal of the prototype, like how this prototype is going to serve as a product. And then we choose tools or softwares like uh, you asked about low fidelity prototype, right? You can choose paper, pencil, whiteboard, etc. tools, and then you just start uh, sketching a rough idea about your prototype, and then you can conduct user testings on that prototype and iterate and refine. Okay, I got some responses for difference between low fidelity prototype and high fidelity prototypes. Someone answered low fidelity prototype is low of effort and low of cost with lower level of representation of an idea, and high fidelity. Yeah, it's true. Um, to check user experience. Yeah, someone. answered, it is about actual low fidelity are more of actual concept of the product, where high fidelity is about user experience. Yeah, it is also correct. Yes, low fidelity is like just the basic outline of design, a rough sketch. Yeah, I got many responses. So, yeah, as you all told, low fidelity does not include complex animations and interactions, where high fidelity includes some complex animation and interactions in designing a app or product. And high fidelity is used in later stages of product design, where low fidelity is used in earlier stages of product design. And the most important thing is low fidelity is used for broader ideas. It is not used for narrower ideas, where high fidelity is used for narrower ideas. So if we use low fidelity for narrower ideas, we may miss the actual concept of what low fidelity is. So we use low fidelity for broader ideas. Yeah. Next, we'll move on to digital prototyping. What is digital prototyping? Can anyone guess what is digital prototyping? Can anyone take a guess? Am I audible? Uh, okay. We'll move on to digital prototyping. A digital prototype is a virtual simulation of a product or service. It is more likely to be virtual, and it's like a digital mockup that allows you to test ideas and user interactions before building the real thing. So as I mentioned here, it is more of computer generated that represents the design of a product or system. And it can include 3D models, simulations, animations, etc. to depict how the product will look or behave and perform. Digital prototypes are often used in various stages of product development process. It can be used either in initial or final or in between. So where do we use this digital prototyping? So this digital prototyping are used in various industries like automotive, consumer electronics, architecture, construction, medical devices, and in manufacturing, like to optimize the production process and design design machinery. I'm sorry, design machinery and ensure product quality. So this is a prototype which we use in our practical life in many industries, like as I mentioned, automotive. We can design and test vehicle components, safety features, and overall aesthetics. And in consumer electronics, we can develop new gadgets, ensuring that new designs and testing user interfaces. In aerospace, they just used to simulate flight dynamics and structural integrity and system operations of flights and aeroplanes. And in medical devices, we can design design the medical operators, and we can test them in the medical equipment. So I'm sorry. Let me. So these are some examples in where we use where we use digital prototyping. And coming to why we use digital prototypes, so they serve several benefits. like cost savings, time efficiency. It is uh, it is quick development process by allowing quick iterations and modifications. We can really modify anything quickly here, and then it can be improved for testing, and we can have a clear visualization, like it provides a clear and detailed view of the product, helping stakeholders to understand the design better, and it facilitates better communication among the team members and stakeholders throughout the digital models. And it is also called as risk reduction process, so it reduces the risks early in the design risks in the early stages of design process, and leading to a more reliable final product. And how do we use this digital prototype, or how this digital prototype is created? This is the um, major thing we need to think. So we can create these digital prototypes using CAD softwares, and like Fusion 360, SolidWorks, Blender, etc. And we can just create a 3D model of the thing we need. And we can use in simulation and analysis, where we this digital prototype undergoes various simulations to test its performance, durability, and functionality. So here softwares like Simulink, ANSYS, etc. are used to analyze the things, and it is also used for virtual testings. So digital prototypes are subjected to virtual testing environments to mimic real world conditions. This includes automotive designs, flight simulations, etc. And it is also used for usability testing for consumer electronics. So this is how we use digital prototyping. And then we'll move on to physical prototyping. So what is a physical prototype? So can anyone guess what is a physical prototype? Okay, someone asked what is the difference between high fidelity and digital prototype. So high fidelity is more of a actual representation of a product, where this digital prototype we design and test everything in this digital software things. It goes deeper. Yeah, someone creating a yeah 3D models made from cardboard and paint. Yeah. Okay, we'll move on to physical prototyping. So a physical prototype is a tangible 3D model of a product idea. As you all told, a physical prototype is a mock-up or working model of a product or a component. It can range from a simple handmade model to highly detailed and functional versions, depending on the purpose and stage of development. It also allows for testing of physical aspects like size, feel, and functionality in the real world. So this is all about physical prototyping. And this physical prototyping is again classified into two types. One is aesthetic prototype and another is functional prototype. Where in aesthetic prototype, we just go and care about the aesthetics, like how the object looks, how is it from exterior, how it looks interior, and how it looks from exterior, and all. And where in functional prototyping, we care about the function functionalities of that prototype, how it works, what are those functions. So, and okay, coming to where we use this physical prototype. So these are used in many industries like automotive, consumer electronics, etc. So in automotive, we to test design, aerodynamics, and functionality of a new car models. And in aerospace, we can again test the design, aerodynamics, and functionality of aircrafts and spacecrafts. And in consumer electronics, we can evaluate the design and usability of the devices like smartphones, laptops, home appliances, etc. And in medical devices, we can just test test the usability and safety of the new medical equipment. And this is also used in architecture. Importantly, it is the physical prototype is mostly used in architecture. They to visualize and access the designs of buildings and structures. So we can like in architecture, they'll just build a mini version of the building or any interior of a room they are going to build in this physical by the physical prototypes. And these are also used in fashion and footwear industries to evaluate the design, comfort, and fit of the clothing or shoes or footwear, etc. So, why do we use the physical prototypes? By now, you should understand why do we use the physical prototypes. If not, I'm just going to brief you about that. We use physical prototypes for validation of design, user feedback, technical evolution like prototype, where the prototype enables engineers and designers to test mechanical, electrical, and structural components. It also it can also be used in demonstration and presentation, where we can showcase the product to the stakeholders, investors, or the customers. Like I said, in architecture, they make a mini version of how actual the building looks or how the interior of a room looks, so that they can just easily can show to the consumer or the customer. So if they like it, they can make same, or if they don't, they can make changes and again make a room according to their likes. So this is why we use physical prototypes. And how are these physical prototypes made? So we can just start with sketches or drawings, or just making a 3D models of this physical prototypes by materials like cardboards, papers, etc. And we can also do 3D printing in physical prototypes. We can just go to Fusion and just uh, design a thing we want. Like, let's take you want to design a water bottle. So you go design a water bottle in the Fusion and give it to a 3D print so you can get a physical prototype of that bottle. So we'll learn more about this physical prototype next. And yeah, a quick question. What is the difference between digital and physical prototypes? You can also text if you have any doubts. No, until now. Physical prototypes are tangible physical models of a product or design, while digital prototypes are virtual and computer generated models. Yeah, that is the main difference. And I need more responses. Can anyone tell more about this? So someone asked, how can we test? How can we test in digital prototype? So once if you're done with the model, let's take, for example, let's take Fusion 360. So as you all did Fusion 360 yesterday, I guess you did a coffee mug. So there, how do we test that? We can just test its shape, how it looks, its appearance, its color, etc. Like that in digital thing. Yeah, digital one is virtual representation where physical is real time. Yeah, all your answers are correct. And I encourage everyone to answer for the questions. It need not to be correct. Just put your ideas, whatever is in your mind, just type here. Okay. As you all told, it is a digital is a virtual and computer generated, and physical is a tangible, 3D tangible models. Digital prototype allows modifications easily and it can be shared digitally, where physical prototype allows testing and evaluation easily. And digital prototype is inexpensive compared to physical prototype. And a digital prototype uh, takes less time to build than physical prototype. So these are some main differences about digital prototype and physical prototype. And next we'll move on to prototyping tools. What are different software tools we use for digital prototyping? So anyone, like, not anyone, I request all of you to go to Slido and answer the question. What are different software tools used for digital prototyping? Yeah, Fusion 360, Blender, CAD. I need more. Blender, Figma, ANSYS, yeah, AutoCAD, Figma, Blender. So, things like that. Sure. Okay, how to use standard product with Nautilus, Sketch Lab, instant. Yeah, character shell it's definitely that, that it's a from SketchUp. So, SolidWorks, yeah, these are all different software tools we use in digital prototyping. So there are many software tools we use in digital prototyping, like Figma, Sketch, uh, Figma, Sketch, Adobe XD, InVision, UXPin, Marvel, Framer, Webflow, Fusion 360, Blender, uh, Mockflow, etc. So these are some software tools, but today we are going to discuss about Figma, Sketch, Adobe XD, InVision, and UXPin. So let's start with Figma. So Figma, it is a collaborative web application for interface design. It is also a versatile prototyping software that stands out as all-in-one tool helps in creating wireframes, mockups, and interactive prototypes. So we use Figma mainly to create wireframes. I think you all know what wireframes are actually. So wireframe is a basic and rough model of a web page or app when you open it. So that's what we do in Figma. And then Sketch. Sketch, it is a vector graphic editor. It helps in manipulating shapes and graphics. It also helps to work faster and efficient. It helps in designing screen layouts, and it is the most commonly used digital tool, software tool for digital prototyping. So, yeah, Sketch is the most commonly used digital prototyping tool. And Next, we move to this is the logo of Adobe XD, which is a go-to tool for crafting of user interface and interactive prototyping. So in Adobe XD, we can mm, uh, create many things. The first main thing is making I'm sorry, interactive prototypes. And again, we move to InVision, where this is also used in digital prototyping and UX Pen. This UX Pen is for designers who love to code, where we can write a code and design the prototype. So this UX Pen is mainly used for that. Along with this, we have Framer, Fusion 360, Blender, etc. softwares too. So yeah, next another quick question. What are the materials used in physical prototyping? Someone asked, hasn't Adobe stopped updates for Adobe XD? Is it still usable nowadays? I guess it is still usable nowadays. Adobe XD, we can physical tools, plastic or cardboard. Yeah, I need more answers. What are the materials used for physical prototyping? Aerosol or paper plate, yeah, metals, yes, acrylic finishes. You guys had almost guessed everything we are going to discuss now, but I request you to listen patiently to what I'm going to tell. Yeah, we can use any materials for physical prototype. It depends on what quality of colors, mechanical tools. Yeah. Okay. All these tools we can use in physical prototyping. All these materials we can really use in physical prototyping. But there are some important materials where in which we use for which we use for physical prototyping. So let's discuss about that physical prototyping materials. The first comes the urethane resins, where we how can I say, it is a these urethane resins are mostly of uh, like it is a thermosetting polymer that is typically poured into molds to make prototypes. So it is basically a polymer which is poured into molds or shape with to make prototypes of desired shape or something we need. And silicones. Uh, in silicones, a silica and oxygen compound which comes in many forms including resins, solid or liquid rubber, etc. Are used as materials for physical prototyping. And next, glass fiber. As we all know, very fine fibers of glass that can be used as a model or material to provide insulation or reinforcement. And then carbon fiber, which is also same as glass fiber, where we in carbon fiber we owe fibers of carbon together into a fabric. That is the only difference in glass fiber and carbon fiber. And we have some more like thermoplastics, where it is a type of plastic that can be melted down and modeled into a 3D shape. Metals. So can you guess which metal is used in most common prototyping? Uh, Which metal do we use most commonly in prototyping? Steel, yeah, it is correct. And another metal we use most commonly in prototyping. Can anyone guess? I told metal, not plastic. Yeah, aluminum. Not iron. We use aluminum. So we use aluminum and steel as most common metals in prototyping. So someone mentioned iron. Iron compared to aluminum, it is more costly, and we can't buy it for making prototypes. Like iron is used in making specific, not some prototypes, not most of the prototypes. Yeah, in the aluminum I have. Yeah, it also rusts and it is heavy too. And next, wood. We also use wood in our prototypes. So not all kinds of wood. We use plywood is one as one of the most used materials in prototyping. So and mass cast epoxy. So it is a thermosetting polymer that is used to like that uh this mass cast epoxy is a thermosetting polymer which is poured into a cast and then left to be hardened. It is a liquid, so we pour into a shape like cast we want, and then it becomes harder after drying or something. And we have rigid urethane form. So this rigid urethane form can make prototypes by casting liquid form into mold or CNC or by CNC machining blocks of solid form. So this is used in casting liquid form mainly. So we use mainly these materials as materials for physical prototyping, and we also have some defects like cons using these materials. Like while using urethane resins, it is not impressionable and it so may leave a rough finish. So that is one of the con using it. Whereas silicons, it is very soft and has high CLD, and this carbon fiber is more expensive, and this thermoplastic melts under high heat, and these metals can be labor intensive, and yeah, wood also can be labor intensive, and this mass cast epoxy can shrink during curing and it has limited thickness. So these are some cons about that materials. Uh, Keeping cons aside, we also have some pros of this materials. Like in your everything is versatile and durable, and silicons are temperature resistant and waterproof. So this is the main pro of silicons. So we use silicons because they are temperature resistant, waterproof, and easily colored. We can color easily, and it also doesn't shrink. And the silicons are also available in various range from soft and flexible to stiff and hard. So these are some pros of silicones, and everything is, as I told, well finished, versatile, and durable. And some are cost effective too. So these are some reasons why we use these materials in physical prototyping. And then we move on to testing and iteration. So what is user testing? Can anyone just say what is user testing? Answer the question. Or if you have any doubt, you can just type until you. Someone asked, can we say in digital prototype we have to give drawings of the product, and in physical prototype we have to give a model? So in digital prototype, you will be having a model, but in a digital form. Like yesterday, you did a fusion model of a coffee mug. So you have that model, but in a digital form. Whereas in physical prototype, we have that model in our hands. So yeah, someone. But user testing is the testing of your product with actual users. Yeah, test by the end users inside and outside. Yeah, I got some replies about what is user testing. So let's discuss. Sorry. Okay. User testing, yeah, as you all told, it is testing the product for actual users or something. Like user testing is also known as usability testing. It is a process where real users interact with a product or prototype to uncover issues, understand user behavior, and gather feedback. This process helps us to ensure the final product is user friendly and meets the need and expectations of its target audience. And yeah, as you all told, that that is user testing. Yeah, it helps in getting the feedback from users. So importance of user testing. So why is this important in our designing process? So it is a stage where we design and enables us, like enables to evaluate our product or service with real users. And as we create human centric products, it is really uh, like, how can I say, it is really important to test our product with users, so that we can just undergo whether this product really match the user expectations or really satisfying the user needs, or did we change anything in our product, etc. So through this process, we can really explore and analyze our target audience behavior when interacting with our product. So the first the first thing is we can identify issues in early stages. Like we can detect usability problems before the launching of the product itself and save our time and resource, like money basically. Before marketing itself, we can just know, is there anything wrong with our product, by this user testing. And we can improve user satisfaction. Like we can use that user feedback and can really design another, or we can modify the changes in the product in the more intuitive and in the way of more intuitive and use enjoyable to use. And we can increase efficiency, like we can enhance the effectiveness and efficiency of the product, making users accomplish their goals faster. And we can reduce development cost, like we can fix issues early in design process, which are less costly than the pre-launch. So this is the importance of user testings. And we'll move on to types of user testing. So, what are the types we have in user testing? The first one is moderated versus unmoderated testing. In moderated testing, we conduct a person like we conduct an interview with a person via video call with a facilitator to guide the sessions. Whereas in moderator session, the users complete task independently and often recorded for later analysis. Like to uh, to break down this moderated versus under unmoderated testing. In moderated testing, there is a facilitator. When the user is testing, there is another person who is watching the user and guiding the user. Whereas in unmoderated testing, the user can just go independently and use the product and complete the tasks of that product. Uh, and the second type is remote versus in-person testing. In remote testing, it is all in internet. We allow a broader range of participants in internet, not in a real manner. Like in-person testing, as the name itself tells, the participants are in the physical location in a physical form. So that's what remote versus in-person testing. And the third one is qualitative versus quantitative testing, where here in qualitative testing, we focus on understanding user behavior, feelings, and motivation through observation and interviews. Whereas in quantitative testing, we involve metrics and data such as task completion, rates, and time taken to complete the tasks. As the name itself says, quality. There in qualitative testing, we focus on quality of users, and whereas in quantitative testing, we involve quantity and metrics of users. So you'll test prototypes of specific flows or features with a number of users, set tasks for them, and then record and analyze the results, which can direct the iteration that needed to be made to improve your product. So basically, all this type of user testing follows a single statement that I mentioned in the slide, where we test prototypes of specific flows or features with a number of users, set tasks for them, then record and analyze the results, which can direct the iterations that needed to be made to improve the product. And we can move on to steps in user testing. So how do we test? Basically, first we have to define the objective, where the goals of like objective, like what is the goal of testing, what specific questions do we need to answer while testing, and then we have to recruit participants, like we have to identify the target audience and recruit users who represents this audience, and then we have to design test scenarios, like created tasks for users with to perform and ensure tasks are clear and aligned with proper instructions. And then we conduct test where for moderated sessions we facilitate without leading the participant, and in unmoderated sessions we ensure instructions are clear. So like in conducting test for moderated sessions, we need not give uh, specific instructions to the person. So the facilitator take care of all that instructions to the person. So the facilitator stays beside the person and guide in each and every step of the person taking the task. Whereas in unmoderated sessions, we have to ensure each and every detail to the participants so that they can find the instructions clear. And then we analyze results, like we can review recordings, uh, the feedbacks and notes, and identify patterns, common issues, and insights from them. And then we can report findings, like summarize the key findings and provide actionable recommendations for them. And yeah, what are different methods to until now we discussed like we should collect from the users, etc. So what are different methods that are used to collect feedback from users? So can you just answer this question? What are different methods used to collect feedback from users? Yeah, reviews is one of the method. G form surveys, yeah. Still there are some more methods. Comments, phone calls. Yeah, but phone calls doesn't work really much. Like if you keep calling to the person and then asking them about our product in phone, they might be really getting irritated or they might be in another important work, so they can't listen to us patiently until the entire survey is done. So I don't really prefer phone calls. Yeah, focus groups, Q&A sessions. Yeah, offline questioning. Maybe written by phone calls. Yeah, recorded videos. Building a community of users. Okay, I'm going to tell you how we collect user feedback. So to collect user feedback, we have things like interviews where we go to a person in person and interview about our product, like uh, and there are polls where we conduct to the users about our product, and there are surveys where we can conduct these interviews, can be with in person, in offline or online, in any way. And we have user forums, in-app user feedbacks. In-app user feedbacks represents like if you are if uh like if a person is using Instagram or something, like we can just publish an ad of in Instagram so that they can review our product by checking it, or we can go in any other apps like that. And A/B testing, yeah, A/B testing includes like here in A/B testing we take two prototypes of same model, like with modified changes. For example, if you like you made a prototype of, okay, let's take you made a prototype of a pencil in Fusion 360. Like you made two prototypes, one with one where one pencil contains eraser at the end of it and its color is different from the other pencil, and the other pencil has like it is of different shape, it's not straight, it is in a curve or something. So you basically, your aim is to create a pencil, but in A/B testing you're going to test these two pencils in users, comparing you're comparing between these two products, so that by that comparison you can just include the pros of the both in a one product and just do or just do a final product with all that pros. And so I think you are clear with what A/B testing is. If anyone are clear, you can just text me and explain you again. And we have ideas portal where we portray all our ideas and we ask feedback from the users to keep all their ideas in that thing. And we have some usability tests. Mm, like we have some usability tests where we test the functionality of a website or any product by observing real users as attempt to complete the tasks on it. So these are some uh, methods how we can collect feedback from users. So if you have any doubt, you can text me. Just a minute. I got disconnected from Slido. Okay, someone asked, can you explain focus groups again? So focus groups include uh, like suppose we are conducting a test for our product. Like suppose if you are going to make a product or beverage, like let's take if you're going to make a milkshake. So you go to a group of people and ask them to test your product. Like you go to a like you can go to a group of children who are playing in a park, or you can just go to a school and just contact with that principal or someone, and then give your milkshake to all the students there and can collect feedback from them. So yeah, like that focus group means collecting your feedback from a group of people. And can you please explain A/B testing? Yeah, A/B testing, as I told, A/B testing is testing between same prototype with some different some difference between them. Okay. Uh, okay. Let's. Uh, can anyone? I'm sorry. Can anyone uh, give me an example for A/B testing? Or okay, I'll take. Suppose you are like you want to sell a pen. If you want to sell a pen, just and you want to test the pen by this A/B testing method, just take two pens, like which are different in shape, which may be different in shape, or which may be different in taking in capacity, or which may be different in color or design, etc. You take that two pens and just give that two pens to the users and ask them to compare them and write feedback about that two things. By that, you can understand which thing is better and which thing has what defects. That's what A/B testing represents. Uh, is it okay, or should I take another example? Attendance link we'll share with you in last 15 minutes of the session. Yeah. I'll explain you in clear about this A/B testing. Just give me a minute. It's like A/B testing. The main motto in A/B testing is to compare two different versions of a design of same thing in two different versions. Like uh, what example can I take in A/B testing? Okay, let's take a jeans. We have to uh, make our jeans popular in the market. So how do we test? By this A/B testing method. So let's take two jeans, like one maybe of some nice cloth and some other maybe of some 50% cotton and 50% other cloth, and one can uh, one can be like it can be stretchable and other can not be stretchable, or it may shrink during washing. So like that, if you take two things and if you compare between those two versions and get feedback between those two versions, you can get this everything. If not, I'll explain you in the last again. Next, we'll move on to design iteration. So, what is this design iteration? Why do we want to discuss about this? So, this design iteration is a repeatable process of improving a product, not entirely a product, it may be also a part of product in a relatively short but regular bursts. So, as shown in figure, uh, if you make a prototype and then share with the users, then you will get a feedback. If that feedback is something positive, is my voice clear now? Uh, Someone told my voice is cracking. Is it clear now? Can you hear me? So, yeah, I hope my voice is clear and I'm continuing. So, design iteration. Design iteration is the repeatable process of improving a product, not basically the whole product in every case. It can be a part of product also in relatively short but regular bursts. So, in iterative process, like in this design iteration, we create a prototype and then share with the users and get feedback. If that feedback is positive and it if the feedback is positive and our design may not need any refinements, then we can just go with that product into the market. But if our design has any refinements, or if any negatives they mentioned, or if they mentioned if our design does not contain anything, or your design need to be more precise or something like that, again we refine that product and again we create a prototype, and again we share to the users. Like this is a complete cyclic process. We refining in the sense, again we just go through all that feedbacks and then we ideate the main cause of that product, and then we create prototype by that ideation. So this is a cyclic process, and it is also called as iterative process. So this is what design iteration in words means. And moving to why is this design iteration important? So this design iteration ensures the design evolves based on user needs and feedbacks. Like most of the design are human centric. So this design iteration ensures that this is uh, from the user feedback or user needs and leading to a more user centered product. So this is why it is important. And coming to types of iterations, what iterations do we actually have? So design iteration focus on refining the aesthetics, functionality and usability of a product or solution. So in design iteration, it is mainly about aesthetics and functionality of the product or the solution we need. And in development iteration, we use this in we use this most commonly in software development, which involves refining the code, fixing the bugs, and adding features incrementally. So these are two types of iterations, and we also have a iteration called agile iteration, uh, which is in depth and in detail. So we are not going to discuss about that now. So I think you all are clear from until here. So as the picture shows, iterative process involves planning, requirement analysis, and design implementation. Again, it is a continuous process. In first iteration, we follow the above steps, and again, coming to second iteration, we follow again the same steps to refine our product. Until our product is successful, we follow the same steps like planning and requirements, analysis and design, implementation, testing, evaluation, and review. So these are the five steps in repeated many times as needed in iterative process. So let's take an example. So as all of you know, Apple iPhone changes its version every year. So it is an example for design iteration. Like as the year passes, the design of the iPhone changes. Like they have iPhone 15, 14 Pro, something. Not only Apple phones, Android phones also changes its designs. You have many things in many design modifications in Android phones too. Like for example, if you take Vivo, you have many existing models in your Vivo product, Vivo mobile phone. Not only mobile phones, taking your laptops, tablets, etc. There we can you can find the iterative process. Um, Not only can you give more examples where you can find this iterative process? There's someone we have stock Android. Can anyone give more examples for this iteration process? ChatGPT, yeah. AI also nowadays updating its versions. It is also a good example. Most, if you have any doubts, you can text me. Design and utility, mobile app updates, yeah, 5G, yeah, Instagram, WhatsApp. That also changes its versions. Yeah, someone asked in focus groups, how do we earn the trust of people we are approaching? Like in the milkshake example, most kids are brought up not to take stuff from strangers. Yeah, really. But you can find that in many schools, many famous brands like uh, let's take let's take chocolates in this case, or like Cadbury, etc. Combine with that school and give some chocolates, etc. to the schools. I guess in this case it's safe as the school management is involved. The kids can take, the kids will take all the stuff. Yeah, bike tires, laptops, OS version, all search engines. Yeah, all these comes under iterative process, social media apps. Yes. Mm. So we have a small hands-on activity for today's session. So I'll go through a problem statement and you just give your it is like you just give your ideas how you will create that prototype for the above problem statement now, and you can do that prototype later in the after the session ends. So the problem statement is home cooks often struggle with managing multiple cooking tasks simultaneously, leading to inefficiencies and mistakes. The challenge is to design a smart kitchen gadget that streamlines the cooking process by integrating key functionalities such as cooking, temperature control, ingredient monitoring, and recipe guidance into a single device. This gadget should be user friendly, compatible with a variety of cooking methods, and capable of providing real time feedback to help user cook meals more efficiently and with better results. So create any prototype of your choice to the above problem statement. Okay. Now let's start with low fidelity prototype. If you want to create low fidelity prototype for this particular problem statement, how are you going to create it? Uh, you can text in that box, like in the slide. Okay. What is the main key concept here? If you are going to create low fidelity, what is the main key concept you are going to include here? I guess everyone understood the problem statement. If not, I'll explain you again. To make a okay, I think quality. Yeah, writing down all key functionalities on one piece of paper with rough design. Yeah, more like what is the key functionality? I need what is the key functionality here? What function are you going to include in your prototype? Like, is it cooking or temperature control or what? The gadget that is aimed to assist home cooks with multiple tasks of cooking. Okay. Since it is what a voice activated assistant, yeah, a clock, yeah, safe and user friendly. Just looking at it's stuff which helps to control temperature while using. Good. So, yeah, the same applies to high fidelity digital thing also. Like, if you are making a digital prototype of it, you just design how that gadget looks, and you just include what key concepts or functionalities in that gadget want, etc. Okay, this may be a complex thing to imagine. Okay. Mm, let's take an app as an example. Uh, if you want to create an prototype for an app, uh, okay, let's take Instagram. Most of you use Instagram very, uh, like you use most commonly. So if you want to modify something in Instagram, what is it going to be, and how does that prototype is going to look for you? Come on, I guess you are able to imagine create a product system. Switch to toggle of infinite scrolling. Someone replied. Hmm. And we can make our charts to be more end-to-end encrypted and artificial background scenarios and post and story. Yeah, we should be able to reduce the number of thoughts or unwanted activities. Yeah. Yeah. For that, for low fidelity designer model suggesting how gadget looks like, which is a this thing which you can try on your own after the session. For high fidelity, design a website for recipe suggestions. Like in that gadget, we can include a screen where we can just see a page for recipe suggestions or a home page basically for recipe suggestions or ingredients, etc. We can take. So for high fidelity, we can just design that at website using Figma. If you don't know how to use Figma, you need not to be worried. I guess the next session is on Figma where you can uh, learn really cool way to make websites, like wireframes of the websites. Actually, yeah. For Instagram, we can implement stories. That also can be possible. Yeah, this is a link for Instagram so that you can please scan our Instagram page for short notes where you can find short notes for today's session. Am I audible? I'll share it in just a minute, the attendance QR. If you have any doubts, you can just type, or if you have any problem statements to create a prototype, you can just discuss. Today's assignment will be posted in Teams and WhatsApp group after this session. And this is a task that is of your choice. You can make it or you can just try it out, or I request all of you to try it actually. It will be fun, but it is not compulsory to submit. It is, yeah, it is not compulsory to submit. This is just an hands-on activity for you guys to understand today's session. So is there any doubts? Today's assignment will be shared and the teams after. And you can scan the QR for attendance here.